So, do you think now that it will be on console starting next month, it will be a main title of the FGC?
Okay, now listen. For now, it's going to it's right now it's really Capcom Street Fighter, and then
Yeah.
SNK with the Fatal Fury. They had their time to shine, but 2XKO has just been in the background. It's just been in the background. It gets some good, decent views here and there. They always have something for you to really look at on like social media and Twitter and things like that. Um, but you know how I feel about this. I don't think it's there yet. I don't think it's moved itself anywhere close to we would call the big three: Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter. They're the big three. That's the
Right.
big three. I think the only two games since I really started playing a lot of different fighting games to even get close to the big three would be Guilty Gear, which has a following. It's been around forever, and Dragon Ball's Fighters, right? I think those are still way above 2XKO at this time. Like Dragon Ball was huge. So 2XKO will probably have a good following. But they got a long way to go to kind of move up the ladder to be considered important. There's a lot of games I don't play, so I look down on them. I'm not in a bad way, but I'm just saying I don't know a lot of people in the community around me who play certain games, like a Blaze Blue or what's the other one you had me play? That was
DNF Duel?
oh, I love DNF Duel. Let's
Uh,
okay. Let's compare it to that. 2XA Go. Is it even close to DNF Duel yet? Because DNF Duel came out. It was
well,
big.
DNF Duel came out. It came out at a time when there was no. It had been a while since a fighting game had come out.
Mm.
So it hit during right when COVID was still kind of a thing. And it had about a 3 month period where it was sizzling hot, but it was an incomplete game. As far as mechanics and all that, no, it's not where DNF Duel is. That's a very good question, but also we need to give it a chance to be on console first.
Dude,
DNF Duel, I believe so. I do because we got to remember everybody's talking about this game is out. It's an early access. Season one comes out in January, and people have said this game's been out for a year. No, it has not. It's been betas. That is not, because if that was the case, then Street Fighter 6 was not a success. Because remember, during betas, everybody was saying Street Fighter 6 would be dead. But you've got to give this game a chance to come out fully on console, I think, to fully judge it. But yeah, once it's out on console, then it's fair game,
I
in my
think
opinion.
console gives it the ability to be at tournaments easier.
That's another
Also,
thing.
so
You're right.
so as long as
And
it
remember, free to play.
yeah, as long as it plays as well as it does on PC on the console, then you'll see a lot of people enter it. And you can like the big thing is you can enter with your friend, you partner up. It's gonna be a good, fun, friendly game that you can do at tournaments. That
Right.
might be the selling point. Like, hey, come to this tournament with your friend, you know, you're gonna get beat regardless. So to at least have fun with your friends. And maybe that's the selling point they need to help this game grow. But off record, I have told you that I have some concerns that I just don't think the game's ever going to get to the level of hype that it had when it was released, where it was supposed to save the FGC. It was supposed to be the
Oh yeah.
game that just put the FGC on the map comparable to other games, big games like Call of Duty, that the ones with the tours and the Fortnites and even their own game, League of Legends and things like that. I
Well, the
don't see it
problem with
ever
the
getting there.
FGC, the reason I don't see it ever getting there is sadly the FGC by nature is so cynical of their own games
Yes.
and so critical. They don't give a time for a game to breathe and to grow and develop. So I never saw it as a savior because what do you say the FGC from is the first thing? Because there's never been an FGC where a game is fully supported on the level of a Fortnite, like you said, a CS:GO, because the people in the community sadly knock and criticize the game so heavily, and the developers don't do enough. They don't give enough costumes. They don't patch the game enough. It's always another flavor of the month when it comes to criticisms. So the thing about it is, I think a lot of people have not even given 2XK a full chance. It's free to play. You're getting skins. You don't have to buy the skins, but there's an option to buy them. You can play with your friends online, all free. There's an option to trade with all the characters also for free. Like a lot of games don't have that. You have to buy the character to fully trade with it. So the thing about it is, how many people are going to in the FGC actually give it a fair shot? And I don't mean just pick it up one time and play, because a lot of people that I know who have picked it up, I don't know anybody who's actually given a fair shot that did it like a certain portion of the game. And also, they are coming out with a new character every other month, and they're patching the game every 5 weeks. And I don't want to hear the FGC, Smitty, talk about it's too fast now. For years, I've heard that the FGC, that fighting games do not patch enough. But now that we have a game that's doing live hot fixes, oh, that's too quick. That's too much. So that is my problem with the FGC.
That the patch thing, that's gonna be a whole show for us because I got so much on that. Like, I am an anti. Well, yeah, okay. I'm the generation where my game came on a tape, and you stick it in your system some way. You
That
stick
makes
it
two of
in.
us, sir. I don't know if you thought I was really young.
There's no patch. This you bought the game. That's the game,
I
right?
agree. But Smitty, you know, the younger generation now, they don't like something, they're ready to burn the game and the whole developer studio down.
And that is something developers really have to start to take into consideration. And we'll get to that when we get to the beta stuff, in my opinion, about betas, where you got to start taking into consideration that the newer gamer is a lot different than 30 years ago, 40 years ago. The newer gamer feels they have a say in how the game is made and how the game should be played. And I think developers are too scared to come out and say, well, this is how we want this game to play. And when the developers start saying that, I think, well, there's going to be huge backlash, first of all, but I think that's important for games to grow, especially fighting games. Is developers have to be able to come out. They talk about transparency. This is how we want the game to be. Let's say like Street Fighter. If the developers came out and said, "This is how we want the game to be for the next 5 years," and then in the fifth year, we plan to make a vast change in the way the game is played, I think that would shut people up for the most part. And so, but right now, with Riot saying every 5 weeks, well, every 5 weeks, I just gotta wait to see if they buff my character. You know, if they don't, then I'll just get online and complain. That's probably what's gonna happen. They're like, oh man, Echo still too powerful. Y'all need to nerf them, nerf them. And then after 5 weeks go by, they still ain't nerfed them. People are just gonna keep complaining. They're gonna complain. My character keeps losing. I can't win. You know.
I do agree with that on a certain level, but I don't know if you've noticed, since the last patch, the complaining has gone dramatically. I've heard a lot of people talk about there is a lot of balance in this patch that they have now.
I haven't
And
heard anybody talk about the game at all. And that's my problem. Like it just kind of came and it's died. You know, there's no like hype moments online or anything because I feel like the game is gonna be the same until the next character reveal, which is at the Game Awards. Is that right?
yes. Yeah, and you make a good point. It is right now, but also it is almost going into off season of the FGC. There aren't any majors going on right now. I want to see when you start getting towards Frosty Faustines and other tournaments. Where does this game go?
Yeah.
When we get to next year, because like I say, I want to see when season 1 comes. Because we're in early access. I want to be fair because I don't want to be a hypocrite. They put a lot of time and money into this. It's early access right now. When season 1 comes, then everything is fair game because the game is officially out on all platforms. When the game is out on all platforms and everything, then we need to see this game progressively getting more people interested and doing numbers. That's where I will totally be on your side, Steve.
It'll be on the Evo main stage, final day. It'll definitely be there.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
it's not closing out the show. We know who's closing out the show.
Right.
And then with the announcement that we're going to talk about later, that's going to be the second main event basically. Actually, yeah, and then I think 2X is right there. Maybe I think they only do 4 games on the last day, right? So it'll be
normally
one of the 4. It's definitely Street Fighter's closing the show, Tekken, and then if you say 2XKO will be up there.
Yeah, but, I don't know who the 4th one is right now.
But we don't have a release date for Marvel.
Right.
And who was the other game last year that was the 4 games?
I believe last year the other one was Grand Blue, maybe?
Might have been.
I'm not sure. I know last year it was Guilty Gear. Oh, Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear, yeah.
I'm sorry, Guilty Gear was the last one. Guilty Gear might still be, I don't believe it will, but we'll see. Because it just has a hardcore following where Evo still is Evo. Guilty Gear still has that. But with Marvel, like you say, it all depends on if Marvel Token has a release date before Evo this year or next year.
Yes.